Good afternoon, students. Welcome back. In this video, we will continue with factoring quadratic trinomials, and this is the third segment of the video. So we shall go ahead and complete questions 5, 6, 7, and we'll be done. Okay, the number 5, you want to factor this and check. So the first thing we do, we compare it with the general equation, the general form of a quadratic trinomial, and it doesn't look like that. It does not match. So we try to rearrange it so that it matches. So this will give us 12x squared minus 47x minus 4. Now please, before you go ahead with this, make sure that you have viewed the 1 and 2, the first two parts, quadratic trinomials 1 and quadratic trinomials 2. Please make sure that you have viewed it. So let's go ahead. The next thing we do, we multiply the first and third terms, right? 12x squared times negative 4. That is negative 48x squared. So we now find the factors of negative 48x squared. Find these factors. So because this is negative, we have to consider the negative and positive, and then positive and negative. Because negative times positive is negative. Positive times negative is also negative. So this is negative x and 48x. And in the same way, we have x and negative 48x. Then the next one is negative 2x and 24x. And this is 2x and negative 24x. We also have a negative 3x and 3 into 4 is 1. 18 is 16x. And 3x and negative 16x. Then negative 4x and 12x. 4x and negative 12x. 5, 6, negative 6x and 8x. 6x and negative 8x. Right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. So this is it. So this one will give us 47x. And this one will give us negative 47x. So we're already there. So we don't need to waste our time on the rest. So this is what we pick here. So we go ahead, and the next method will be to replace. So let me write it out first, and then I'll replace. So this is 12x squared plus x minus 48x minus 4. Right? So we now group in twos, 12x squared plus x, then negative 48x minus 4. So what is common here is x. If you bring out x, 12x squared divided by x gives you 12x. Then plus x divided by x gives you plus 1. Then, like I told you earlier in the first video segment, whenever you have a leading number, leading means the first number to be a negative, you want to always factor out that negative. That is what you always want to do. When a negative leads, you want to factor out that negative first. Right? So we want to factor out negative 4 here, instead of factoring out 4. Now, some people, if you factor out 4, that's still correct, but you don't want to do that. If you have negative 48x minus 4, some people will have it that 4 will factor out, and then negative 48x divided by 4 will give you negative 12x. Then negative 4 divided by 4 will give you negative 1. This is correct, but we don't want to do that. We want to factor out the negative. Negative 4. That's what we want to do. Because the negative is leading here. Okay? Now that doesn't mean that this one, the other one is wrong. No. It's still correct, but this is what you want to do. Most textbooks do it that way. I mean, you want the negative to be out, factoring it out. That's what you want. Okay, now negative 48x divided by negative 4 will give you 12x. And then negative 4 divided by negative 4 will give you plus 1. So you have these two, you can now rejoice, right? And when you put them together, this is now x minus 4 and 12x plus 1. Well, you now factor it out, you now have that x minus 4 and 12x plus 1. You see, here I'm skipping some steps because I have already explained those steps. I already explained them. So the next thing for you now is to do what? Check. Let's see whether we are right. You use for method to check. That's fine. So x times 12x, x times 1, that's outer. Negative 4 times 12x, inner. And negative 4 times 1, last. So this is 12x squared. This is x. This is negative 48x. And this is negative 4. So you now write as is. Write as is. This is 12x squared plus x minus 48x minus 4. So this is now 12x squared minus 47x minus 4. And that becomes what you got initially. Right? Hope you understand it. Okay, number 6. 7 minus 8x plus x squared. It is not in that form, so you want to arrange it in that form first. So this will be x squared minus 8x plus 7. Remember, we are not moving from left to right, so you keep the sign. You keep the sign that came with it. So you want to multiply the first and third term, x squared times 7. That gives you 7x squared. Then you find the factors of 7x squared. Now this is positive. So for positive, you consider both positive and positive. Positive times positive gives you a positive. Then negative times negative gives you a positive as well. So 7x squared, we have x and 7x. You always want to start from 1 and 7. That's the smallest factors you want to. And then we also have negative x and negative 7x. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. 7 is a prime number, so it's only one at the number. Now this is 7x squared, and this is still 7x squared. Okay, I'm sorry. When you combine this is 8x. I'm sorry. And this is negative 8x. So what is the middle term is negative 8x. This is what we want. So we just replace x squared minus 8x plus 7. This is now x squared, we replace minus x minus 7x plus 7. Right? Then you now want to group in twos. Group in twos. X squared minus x, negative 7x plus 7. So here, what is common in both of them is x. So you factor out x. X squared divided by x is what? Is x. Then negative x divided by x is negative 1. Alright, so you're done with this one. I'm sorry. You're done with this one. Then here, a negative leads. A negative leads. And like I told you, if a negative leads, then factor out the negative. So negative 7 is common here. Negative 7x divided by negative 7 is x. Then 7 divided by negative 7 is negative 1. So as you can see, this is x minus 1, x negative 1. It's the same thing. So you can now dance, and when you factor it out, it will be x minus 7 and x minus 1. right? And then you now check. You now check your work. So when we check this, x minus 7, x minus 1, x times x is x squared, x times negative 1 is negative x, negative 7 times x is negative 7x, negative 7 times negative 1 is plus 1. And this will now give you x squared minus 8x plus 1. The same thing we got here. Negative 7 times negative 1 is plus 7. Plus 7. Yeah. So, if we do that, we see that what we got here is now this x squared minus 8x plus 7. Right? Okay, I hope you understood it. Now let's do the number 7, and we can call it a day. Please, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments on the video. Feel free to ask comments in the video. Okay, number 7, the last one here. Negative 3p squared minus p plus 4. Okay, we do it the same way we've been doing it. It's the same thing as this form. Now, some textbooks will do this differently, but I'm just teaching you a general approach to solving quadratic trinomials, a general approach. I am not really following what the textbook does, but whichever way you understand it more, that's fine, right? But what I'm teaching you is correct. It is. So we still multiply the first. It is in this form. So we multiply the first and third terms. Negative 3p squared times 4. And that is negative 12p squared. So we want to find the factors of negative 12p squared. Now this is negative, so you consider positive times negative and also negative times positive, right? So this will be, we start from the least, negative p and 12p, and then we have a p and negative 12p, then 12, we have negative 2p and 6p, then we have 2p and negative 6p, then we have negative 3p and 4p, then 3p and negative 4p. I think that's it, right? So this will give us 11p. We do it and we check with this. You know, some people will just look at it and know that, okay, which form? I mean, we don't want to waste time. I know that it's this form already, negative p. But let me just go ahead and finish this. It doesn't matter. This is p. This is a 4p. This is negative 4p. And this is negative 11p. So who do I take? I'm going to take this, since it will give me the second term. So what do you do now? You replace, right? You replace it, negative 3p squared minus p plus 4. You want to replace this, negative 3p squared plus 3p minus 4p plus 4, right? And then what you want to do is to factor out. Let me just write this here. Negative 3p squared plus 3p minus 4p plus 4. So you want to group in twos and factor, group in twos. So this is negative 3p squared plus 3p, and this is negative 4p plus 4. Okay, there's somebody leading here. Negative is leading, so you factor it out. And if you factor it out, it will be what? Negative 3p, right? So when you do negative 3p squared divided by negative 3p, it gives you p. Remember, if you are confused, I have to do it here. Negative 3p squared divided by negative 3p. Negative will divide negative to give you positive. 3 will divide 3 to give you 1. P will divide p squared to give you p. Only p. And 3p divided by negative 3p will give you negative 1. Negative 1. Right? So the same thing is what you do here. Also, Because there is a leading negative, you factor out negative, and what is common is 4. Then you do negative 4p divided by negative 4, it gives you p. P. And you also do 4 divided by negative 4, it gives you negative 1. Right? So I need this space. Hello. So I see that this is equal to this, then you can do what? You can jog, you can dance. And this will now be negative 3p minus 4 and p minus 1. Some textbooks will write this answer like this. Some textbooks will tell you, because this is negative leading, you will also do 3p plus 4 and p minus 1. Some books will have it like this. It doesn't matter. Because if you factor out negative here, negative 1, negative 3p divided by negative 1 is 3p, and then negative 4 divided by negative 1 is plus 4. It does not matter. You leave your answer like this is correct. You leave your answer like this is correct. Okay? Alright, now let's check. Let's check. This will be negative 3p minus 4 and then p minus 1. Right? So this is negative 3p times p, negative 3p times negative 1, negative 4 times p, negative 4 times negative 1. And this is negative 3p squared, then this is 3p, this is negative 4p, and this is 4. So you now write as this. You write as this. You write as this. This is negative 3p squared plus 3p minus 4p plus 4. And this will be p squared minus p plus 4. What do you got here? And then you can do what? You can jump, you can dance, that you got the mathematics right. Alright, this concludes our questions on factoring quadratic trinomials. If you use the same method to solve any quadratic trinomial, this method will work. But if you try it and you still do not get it, you're welcome to post the questions to me online, and I will solve a similar problem to it. I'm not going to solve the same question. I will make up a similar question and solve it. Thank you for listening, students, and you have a great day with mathematics.